Alright guys, let's talk about something a little more lighthearted than really bad video games. Let's talk about Marvel Rivals. Now, Marvel Rivals is a game that I have not taken the time to look into yet as far as like playing it for myself, due to the fact that I have got so many other games to finish. The last thing I need to do is add another game, especially a PvP type game, into my roster of games that I'm currently playing. However, the game seems fun. People that play it absolutely love it. It seems to be a very well-made game, and it seems to have gamers in mind, and it seems to definitely try to please the gamers first and foremost with good gameplay, cool cosmetics, fun game mechanics. It definitely seems that Netease is knocking it out of the park with this game due to their player-first approach to it. So now we have a Season 2 leak with the Emma Frost design, a new playable character that's coming out. And there's a lot of discussion about the character herself. Most of it positive, a little bit of a negative. But of course, you can see this little teaser here. It says Emma Frost arrives in Season 2. And it's the video coinciding with, I guess, the Hellfire Gala. Now, in the comics, and I'm not a big comic book guy, so you guys correct me in the comments, if I'm wrong about this. But as I understand it, the Hellfire Gala in the comics is not very well loved. It has not been well received. It seems to be something that a lot of people are very critical of, due to the fact that it just seems to be very cringy, I guess. But that being said, I'm going to trust Marvel Rivals to know what they're doing with this because of the fact that they've done so well in just the short amount of time that this game has been out to please the fans, please the gamers, the customers. So I'm not too worried about the fact that they're centering this around the Hellfire Gala. And of course, like I've said, a lot of the discussion has been around the fact that this character, Emma Frost, they've visually changed her shape, her style a little bit to make her a Vanguard character, where you can see her thighs are a little bit larger than they would have been normally, given the fact that she's more of a tank character in Marvel Rivals. But one thing that they are definitely doing is trying to give a visually striking character. They're trying to give character models that players want to play, with skins that are going to be fantastic to play and look at. And again, a lot of the concern has been, okay, she's another blonde-haired, blue-eyed chick in a white and blue outfit. Well, again, not every skin is going to be the same as far as optional skins you can purchase later on or earn, I guess, through whatever battle pass system they have. So you're going to have no problem distinguishing this character from other characters. I think that's a concern that some people have, but it's not something that I would be too entirely worried about. And again, visually stunning game. They know what they're doing. They are definitely out here to please the customers, right? From PC Gamer, says thick thighs save lives. Marvel Rivals players are desperate for Emma Frost to crush them between her thunderous gams when Season 2 goes live. I think that's probably fair. A lot of my mutuals, people I follow on Twitter, have been talking a lot about the character model and the size of her thighs. Says some players have more practical worries about indistinct character design, but mostly they just want to feel the squeeze. Yeah, a lot of people are getting the horny bonk this week, that's for sure. Emma Frost, known in the workplace as the White Queen, is coming to Marvel Rivals in Season 2 entitled Hellfire Gala, which is set to begin on April 11th. Initial reaction to her new character seems largely positive, not so much because of her abilities, which we don't know much about yet, but because an inordinate number of Marvel Rival players seem very eager to be crushed between her thighs. Frost is a Vanguard, a tank basically, with powerful telepathic powers and the ability to turn things into diamonds, which I suppose could be useful in the defensive context. Her most tank-like feature, though, at least going by the Reddit reaction, appears to be, well, those thighs. As one put it poetically, thick thighs save lives, and that is no joke right there. Somebody said, I felt my neck crack when I first saw her. Damn, I genuinely can't tell if I want to play as her or if I want the enemy Frost to crush me. She got thick. Wood. I'm just waiting for the cosplays because Lord of the Thighs are gonna thigh. I feel like she can simply use her thighs to get the win without diamond form. She's using 2 tanks just to walk. Yeah, so like I said before, some of the concern has been about the fact that they already have 2 blonde, blue-eyed white women, and now they have a third. And again, there is the argument in here that they don't have enough representation. And we've heard this before about this game. There's not enough representation. And look, Marvel has a massive catalog of characters to go through. They will eventually add, I'm sure, any and every relevant, semi-popular character to this game. Anything that they think will actually make money by adding the character. And then, of course, skins, I'm sure, that you can purchase and everything else. So don't worry about the representation part of it. I think that's a completely, bogus argument. And of course, I would love to see Blade in this game. I think most people would. I'd love to see an actual, reboot of the Blade franchise that was good. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get that. So a Blade game would be fantastic. I don't think anybody would argue that. But criticizing this character because it's another white woman, I think is pretty, low IQ behavior. You see that boy Aqua saying, I might get crucified for this, but Rivals so blatantly panders to gooners that it puts me off from the game. Like it's a hero shooter, but we don't need such exaggerated jiggle physics on a character's thighs, chest, and butt. I don't even know that I would call it exaggerated. It's just jiggle physics. He's talking about this little movement of her chest right here, that little bounce right there. I don't understand how that's something you're going to complain about. Jiggle physics are jiggle physics. And guess what? Boobs jiggle in real life. See this chick here saying, white blonde lady with white and blue outfit has got to stop. Again, most people are saying, yeah, no, we're fine with it. And like I said, you're going to have other skins. It's not just the one skin, right? Hoshi says, people complaining about Emma being too thick need to realize she needs a bigger frame in order to fit as a Vanguard. It's common sense. And I think that that's a very valid argument. And the thing is that the game has interpreted the characters in the way that it sees fit. And guess what? Most people are happy with it. Yes, the Hulk and Wolverine and all these other characters don't resemble the characters from the movies. That's okay. That's a good thing. You know, some of them don't quite resemble the characters from the comics either. That's okay. It's an interpretation of the characters. Yellow Flash says, sexy has always been part of Emma Frost's character. Sick of you effing tourists. And again, yeah, unfortunately, comics used to always idealize the hypermasculine and hyperfeminine forms, and it always gave it in more of a sexual manner. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that it's like overly sexualized. It's just peak femininity, peak masculinity are both going to have massive sex appeal. That's just reality. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Hoshi also says, you know, same character, by the way, because somebody's like, they're supposed to be the same character, comparing this character here on the left as, you know, Emma Frost to the character design on the right over here. Sorry, my internet works really bad, guys. Give me a second. And then, of course, you know, they show that these two designs here, maybe they are completely different games and interpretations, showing, again, Storm from Fortnite versus her skin in Marvel Rivals, which actually I like the Marvel Rivals version better. I think this is a really cool design. So I don't know. I feel like people are always going to be outraged about anything that doesn't conform to their worldview, especially when you give a character that is already kind of a sexy character even more desirable features. People are going to be like, oh, you can't sexualize her. It's like, well, the character was already sexualized. There's nothing wrong with that. So anyways, guys, I'm going to leave right there. Let me know what you think about all this insanity. Are you guys playing Marvel Rivals? Are you looking forward to Emma Frost? I will catch you guys on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have two channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.